Okay, so with the release of Vendetta, I have been seeing so many support players, especially support players, and obviously not just the support players, but the community as a whole, losing their minds over how they are just getting absolutely demolished by Vendetta, and how Vendetta's a stupid hero, and how they hate when Blizzard releases heroes that are anti-support or dive heroes, whatever. And all's what it's doing for me is because I kind of agree with them to an extent. I think Vendetta is pretty good right now. But what I never understand is why you are giving this sort of hate to Vendetta when a hero like Tracer exists. Yeah, I don't care. This one is gonna be a problem for a lot of you, I'm sure of it, because a lot of you are brainwashed, like the rest of the community, into thinking that Tracer is this untouchable hero that you can't complain about solely because she's difficult to learn. And I have such an inherent problem with that, because the hero known as Tracer is just not as difficult as people think. Or sorry, they are. I have to say, Tracer is difficult to get into, all right? But let me put it to you this way. You put even, I'd say 20 hours, you put 20 hours into Reaper, or you put 20 hours into Venture, and take those 20 hours and instead put them into Tracer, and you will be better off as a player. That's just a simple fact. A simple fact of the matter is that Tracer is a better designed hero in her category than any other hero, like, in DPS, and probably in the game. The only one that I think stacks to them, or stacks to her, is D.Va, and we all know how much I fucking hate D.Va. But Tracer is right there, and the only reason Tracer isn't, you know, on the same level with D.Va and Widow, but Widow is there because Widow's inherently a flawed character in the system of Overwatch. The only reason that Tracer isn't there is because I think Tracer is simultaneously the best designed hero in the game while also being the worst. And the only reason that she's the worst is because she just is so much better than any of the other heroes in her category by a large, like, metric sum that you can't even fathom. And the reason, again, I'm going to reiterate, people get you know, all up in arms whenever you criticize the Tracer is because Tracer is hard to get into, right? Like, you need to spend a decent amount of time in order to get good at Tracer. I understand that. But there is a point that you can reach to where you're playing the hero, and no matter what, you will have infinitely more value than any other hero could be at that point, right? So again, I said like 20 hours, maybe I'll make it 50. If you put 50 hours into Tracer, you will be so much more better off than if you put 150 into Reaper, okay? Because the cutoff for like climbing, right, for using a hero like Tracer in almost any scenario is probably like Plat or Diamond. That's when people stop, you know, just feeding into you because you have 2 double shotguns, or stop feeding into you when you're Venture or whatever, or can pick on a Sombra, whatever. That's when Tracer just is better than everything else, no matter what. Also, Tracer has literally never not been meta, okay? There has never been a time, and don't let anyone fool you. Don't let anyone, you know, try and gaslight you into thinking this. Tracer has always been a really good to the best pick in the game. That's just the fact, in Overwatch 2 at the very least. Overwatch 1 might have been different. Didn't play Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2, there has never been a time where Tracer is a even like just middling pick, okay? And I know what some of you are going to say. You're going to say, oh, well, Vendetta has a lot of movement and has a lot of HP, so that is probably a reason why we hate Vendetta more than we hate Tracer. At least Tracer has no HP. What? Do you not know what Recall does? Recall just refills her health, and I think gives her overhealth with one of her perks, and also reloads her ammo, and also gives her back 2 of her dashes. Oh, and those dashes, by the way, make her move literally faster than your eyes can comprehend. The only way you're catching Tracer is if you're predicting where the Tracer will go. It is literally interdependent on how predictable of a person the Tracer playing the hero is, right? And she gets 3 of those, and they come back every 0.2 seconds, and has like the smallest hitbox on the planet. Again, their HP is whatever, 175 times 2. I'm not doing the math right now. Screw you guys. But you get what I'm saying. Even if you tickle her, she can just do that and then and return. And it's like, I don't understand. Maybe, you know, and like maybe clicking a button to recall means that it's harder than if Vendetta has to block. Maybe if you can comprehend, if that's how you think, fine. But I don't think that way. I think that recall makes it so that Tracer has, you know, a distinguishable amount of HP to where I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, Vendetta has all of this HP while having all this movement, and that's why. No. You're not going to convince me of that. It's just how it works, unfortunately. Tracer is broken. That makes Tracer broken. Okay, and again, I want to say this. I don't think that Tracer is like bad for the game like I do with D.Va or I do with Widow, but it's just the way that people love Tracer, and you can't criticize anyone that plays Tracer because people think that they're that good or that they're that crazy hard, is odd to me. And then I'll move on to the, you know, another argument that I'll see is I definitely know that you guys are going to say, oh, well, but the barrier to entry is also what makes her not a problem in the game. And it's like, yeah. So when I said that the 20 hours or the 50 hours played, you're better off playing Tracer, I understand that maybe to most people or to most gamers even, that would be a long time to get into. Like you just wanna open up the game like I do pretty much and play Reaper, and you just want to shoot things. I get that. That happens, right? However, the problem I have with that is now everyone, not only just in Overwatch, but everyone in gaming is trying to be the best regardless. And everyone in gaming is spending all of their time playing the game, especially in Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2 has been out for so long. So a hero like Tracer is inherently just going to be busted because 90% of the player base has at least played a certain amount of hours on her and realized, oh my god, this hero is broken. Now, that's not saying 90% of the players can play the hero at their current rank, right? Like, I would say at least 50% of the player base over Masters can play Tracer at their level, like has a Tracer as a pocket pick, can switch over to Tracer whenever they need to, solely because the hero has been that good for so long that you have to play it. And if they can't play it at that level, then let's say a Masters player could probably go into Diamond and dominate on Tracer. Not like just like do really well, but dominate on Tracer, right? As long as they have played the hero more than 10 hours, you will murder with this hero because it's so broken. Now, again, I really have to reiterate, I don't think that Tracer is like a problem for the game, because I just think it's Overwatch, you know, tying their own hands with such a well-made character. Because the character is fun to play. The character might not be fun to play against, but the character is amazingly satisfying and awesomely fun to play. Then there's also the argument of Tracer being like the only counter in the DPS category, like the only real counter in the DPS category to like Zimmers and stuff like that, because even Zimmers can't keep up with Tracer. But I mean, that should show you when a character is so fast that literal cheaters can't keep up with the hero. So, but you know, whatever. I don't know. It's a weird one because I understand that people are gonna, you know, go against me on this, but I want you to try and like picture what I'm thinking right now. Like, just understand what I'm saying, because it's not like when we make fun of Widows, and it's not like when I hate on D.Va. It is not the same thing. D.Va is overbloated. D.Va is a problem for plenty of other reasons. D.Va is not well designed in almost any facet. Okay, and then Widow is literally a problem for the game because I don't think she fits in Overwatch. I don't think that her style of hero is a well-made for Overwatch, right? But Tracer, on the other hand, I think is perfect for Overwatch, while also still being just way too good, you know? And I don't think there's ever going to be a time when Tracer gets nerfed into the ground. Like, we've seen Tracer get nerfed, and they've literally just fixed it, like, within the next, I don't know, like, half a season, I think is the most I've ever seen it. I mean, there was even a hot fix for her weapon spread at one point, and she wasn't even bad during that time. I remember being so mad. Like, she was just doable. Like, I wasn't getting one clipped every 5 seconds. But yeah, it's a weird way. It's a weird thing to try and argue. I get that, but it's like, dude, this hero has been like just in every single one of my games for so long, even in quick play, man, especially in quick play when, because you guys know I just spend most of my time in quick play, but like I just get like a random top 500 in my quick play, like on a Tuesday, and they're running around on Tracer, zipping around at Mach 10, the same way that like the Zimmers do when they have a Widow. It's just I don't want to deal with it. Like it's literally the opposite of the Zimmers. The Zimmers are doing it because they're boring and they're losers, and it feels like a Tracer's doing it like for what? Like you're doing so much during a quick play game, it's kind of weird. But again, that's a very stupid argument. But that's the argument I'm going to give you. To finish off the video, I'll end with this. All right, I'll give you this doozy. I believe that if you play a character like Junkrat, Reaper, I'll throw in there just because I love Reaper. Even like Echo. Well, Echo is probably a more fair comparison because people think Echo's skilled, but no one really plays. If you play any of those heroes, you are better than a player that exclusively plays Tracer or mostly plays Tracer and Hitscan. If you play Junkrat, I believe that you are more skilled than a player that plays Tracer. Only in top 500. I'll leave it to top 500. I won't go any different other than that. On the top 500 leaderboard, if I see Junkrat next to your name, or if I see Tracer next to your name, I think the Junkrat player is better than the Tracer player. That's it. I'm just that is what I believe in. If I see an Echo, I think that they're a very good player in top 500. If I see a Tracer, I think, whatever. You do the same thing that everyone else does, man. Everyone in top 500 knows how to play Tracer, or at least could figure out how to play Tracer. It's harder to play a hero, the heroes that I just mentioned, rather than playing Tracer. That's it. Everybody has time on their hands when they're in top 500. Everybody is highly skilled when they're in top 500. To where Tracer really just is like the ultimate, is not the ultimate equalizer. I don't know how to put it, but Tracer just isn't impressive to me. It's not. Okay, I shouldn't say it isn't impressive, but it's just less impressive than the heroes I just said, because it's harder. But yeah, you guys gotta let me know. Did I just ruin my channel for you because I shit on a hero that no one else does? Or I just kind of made fun of top 500 players even though I'm dog shit? I don't care. Don't care. Really don't. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please tell me. Goodbye.